Hello and welcome to the next card in our September class in a box. We're going to put together this card here. It's got lots of layers of cardstock, foil and DSP, and of course some houses. I have used one of the sentiments from the Wrapped in Christmas stamp set. If you don't have that, you can of course add in some sentiments from the DSP, or if you have other sentiments you can use that as well. So a little bit outside and not a lot of detail inside, but we're going to put that together now. So what you will need, and the measurements are on the email for this, you will need a garden green card base, and that is a book fold card. You will need a piece of Whisper White that measures 10 centimetres by 14.4. You will need a piece of foil that measures 9.5 centimetres by 13.9, and you will need a piece of the DSP that measures 9 centimetres by 13.4. So each one of those is 0.5 centimetre smaller. Okay, so we can attach this straight away. So for this it's all going down flat, so I'm using wet glue. Okay, so that one is going on there like so, and then the foil is going down, and our DSP is also going down. So 0.5 centimetre is always my kind of go-to measurement for matting and layering. So then what we will need is we will need some extra pieces. Okay, so I have got here a scallop circle from the layering circles, and I have a stitched white circle. So onto that circle I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and the sentiment I've chosen is "It's the most wonderful time of year." Love that sentiment. And I'm stamping in garden green. Now I'm actually going to put this towards the bottom of that circle like so, and then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add all of this to our card, and then the houses are slotted in and around what we have. Okay, so this is going to go on there like so, but before we do that we need a little bit of ribbon. So for this I'm going to cut a piece that is just roughly the same width as the card, and I'm going to attach that to my card. Now for this, because you're not going to see it, I'm just going to attach it with a little bit of double-sided. You could also use washi tape if you have that to hand, and then we can put that on like so, and that's going to go on with a couple of dimensionals. So our card is now starting to build, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use our houses, and we're going to cut out our house. So you'll find that on my original example the house is red, but on this one the house is green. The reason for that is because of the way the DSP has been cut. Some of you will have red houses, some of you will have blue houses, and some of you will have green. It just depends what layout you have received, but I think the colours go really, really nicely. Or by all means, if you have the stamp set, you could always stamp a house and then colour it in as you wish. So there's lots of options with this kit. So we have our first house, and actually I'll tell you a secret. This house here is half a house because that was on the edge of my DSP. Okay, so instantly I'm going to get a different look with this card because I have a whole house. Okay, so that is going to be stuck down with a dimensional, but this is going to be stuck down so that it tucks under our scallop circle, so it's going underneath like so. I'm just mindful that I'm leaving enough room for my bow there. Okay, like so. And then I have a Christmas tree, and again the reason that that Christmas tree is poking out of the top is because it's not a whole tree. It's one that is on the edge of my DSP, because actually just because we've got a piece of tree on the edge doesn't make it fit for the rubbish. It just means we just need to be clever with where we place it. Okay. So I'm just trimming this round. Again, if you have the dies will cut out this Christmas tree, but if you don't have the dies, you can just do a little bit of fussy cutting. So our Christmas tree is going to go in. If you wanted to, you could always put that wherever you fancy, but I am going to tuck mine in behind. Just like so. And I've done it so that the Christmas tree is just ever so slightly higher. And then what you will need is you will need some of your gems. I'm just finding my gems. They are behind me, of course. And you'll notice on your gems you've got these little tiny stars. So I have put a star at the top of my Christmas tree, like so. Okay, and then the last thing is we can put our house on there, but mine actually cuts off the end. So I have got this piece of DSP, and I'm just going to trim out a new one. So whilst your houses may not look exactly the same, the great thing about this DSP is you can just play around with the other images and you get such a great look. I have been completely obsessed with this suite, as you would have heard me talk about in my kind of introduction video. Okay, so then this house is going to go on there like so. So although it's not the same, it still looks really cute. Or you could just leave it off altogether, it's up to you. So for our little bow to finish the card front, I'm going to tie a bow. And it's just a little bow. Oh no, that's a bit too short. So you have 1 metre of ribbon each, so you have plenty of ribbon for what you need it for. So just tie yourself a cute little bow like that. Cut off our ends, and then the bow is going to be stuck down like that. So you can use some Tombow glue, or if you have them you could use a glue dot. Okay, so we have our little bow to finish, and then inside our card we have this little piece of white, and it's actually the same size as the DSP on the front, and that is going to be attached inside like so. If you wanted to, you could always add another house down there if you felt you wanted to. So there we have our next card all finished, and we can move on to the next one.